guys, and welcome back to the Single Mom Space. Single Mom Space is not about your kids, it's about you, the single parent. Today's video is going to be a story time. It's going to be about how I bought my first car. I'm trying to make this not that long, so grab your tea, grab your snack, and let's get into it. I remember being taking the bus with my son, and I remember I didn't have my license. Nobody in my family had their license, so license wasn't something that was very common to me. But I decided that I was tired of walking with my son in the wintertime. I was tired of having to pick up that stroller. If I had to pick up the stroller one more time, I lived on the 3rd floor. I had to pick the stroller up and bring it down every morning and bring it right back up every afternoon. I had enough. I decided that it was time for me to buy my car. Well, I had a dream car as a child, and I decided that that was the point where I'm going to buy this car. It was a beater. Don't get me wrong, okay? It was nothing fancy. I bought a Pontiac Aztek 2001, I believe. I think it was 2001. It was a car. It was a big car. I wanted an SUV. I wanted, I wanted it to look good. The only thing is, I bought it at a 23% interest rate. Yes, car payment, 23% interest. I didn't have a credit score. I didn't have any credit. So it was like, I needed a car. I was like, I want a car. I don't care which car you give me. He was like, oh, you can pick between this and this. And I was like, I'll take the big one. Not thinking about insurance, not thinking about gas, not thinking about maintenance, not thinking about anything other than I want the big one. So I got the car, and the car was good for about a few months. But then things started to happen, right? I didn't know at the time that you had to deal with mileage. I didn't know that you had to deal with oil changes on a regular. These are things I didn't know. So first started with an electrical problem. Went to a garage, and it was a very expensive visit. They charged me about $1,500 to look for an electrical problem that continued. When you put gas in the car, it would never tell you how much gas you put in. It just stayed at the 0. And I was like, I kept putting gas in this car. I kept putting gas in this car like all the time. And then every time I put it, I'm like, wait a minute, why can't this tank ever fill? This is crazy. I even went back to the gas station telling them that I didn't put no gas in my car. They went back, they checked, and they were like,
yes, you had gas in the car.
And I'm going, oh crap. So basically it did not tell how much gas was in the car. Then there was no AC in the car, so you had to roll the windows down. There was, the brakes went next, and I placed the brake pads and everything else, and the whole brake system. Then the bushings went, so the car started shaking. If you got on the highway, okay, you're in my car, we're on the highway, and I tried to do anything over 100 kilometers per hour, I was like, yo, the car would be like, I remember one time being with one of my girlfriends, and she was sitting beside me, and I was like, I can go in the fast lane. I'm cool like that. And we went over, I pulled over, and I went over like 70, and my car was like, you hear the beat. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna go a little faster. And then I decided I was gonna go 100, and my car was like, it's like a drum roll in my car. And my girl was like, you sure everything is okay? I'm like, yes, so then in the winter came, the heat didn't work. So the AC didn't work in the summer. But when the winter came, the AC did not work in the winter time. No, sorry, the heating did not work in the winter time. So basically, I would sit there with my baby, and I'd wrap him up in a bunch of blankets. Wrap myself in a bunch of blankets, and basically had to cover ourselves to keep warm. And I finally got into a mechanic. They changed all these things, started to run a little bit better. Then I was driving once, and I remember the wipers were going because it was raining, and then one wiper just flew off, and I was like, huh? Why did the wiper go? Like, what? So then I took a plastic bag, a couple plastic bags, I had shopping bags in the back when they were giving you shopping bags, and I wrapped it around the windshield wiper so I could use the other windshield wiper so I can make it home. Oh God. And all this time I'm paying interest rate on this car. But like, it's a good car. It's a humbling car. That's what that car was. It made me appreciate what I was driving and that I had transportation. I remember just being happy that I was not at a bus stop in the cold with my baby. That was the point of it all. It was like, I was doing this, I was going through all of this because it was a mode of my transportation. Didn't care what other people thought about me in that car. That wasn't what that car was meant for. It was a car that helped me build to a future for my life, for myself and my son. That's what that car was all about for me. Even with all the repairs and all the funny stories, it was still like my first step into my independence. It was the first step into my future. Because after that car, I sold it. If you figured, when I bought my first house, I sold that car. Actually, the crazy thing is, I paid it off. I paid it off completely. But when I paid it off, the engine was it was leaking engine fluid, and transmission fluid. It was leaking. And so they were like, there's no way we're gonna put a new transmission into this car. It's not worth it. So I ended up getting a smaller car that was a great car. And I drove it for many years. And then now I have close to my dream car. I bought it, and I think back all the time on my first car, on my Pontiac Aztek. And I remember feeling so proud of myself that I did get my license and I was able to afford that car by myself. That was a stepping stone. So know that in your life, there's going to be stepping stones. You're not going to get to the dream, right away. You're not. It's not how it works. So take your stepping stone car, enjoy it. Know that it's going to come with a lot of repairs and a lot of funny stories and hopefully some great memories. And yeah, that's the story for today. Anyways, thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, subscribing, supporting. Because every time you do support, I know I'm helping another mom, and I'm helping somebody grow into the person that they would love to be. So like, subscribe, comment below, ring the bell, or click the bell. I'm out.
Wow.
Yeah.